I think, and I keep harping on this, that I I can't believe that we have allowed for these two to be our choices, right? Like
Right.
this, and especially in these unprecedented times when we need leadership so badly. We need a visionary, we need someone who's gonna bring the country together, all of these things, right? And I'm really tired of like the Noam Chomskys of the world, right? So you guys saw how they put out this video. All these celebrities, or these left wingers or whatever, they put out this video, essentially talking about why you should vote for Biden.
Angela
And
Davis.
and according to Chomsky, your feelings about Biden don't matter. It's just about getting Trump out, right?
Wow.
And it's a matter of how many times do we have to hear this same argument. For decades now, we have been hearing about, the lesser of two evils. I mean, Obama was obviously very different, but, because people, I would imagine people that voted for him, it's actually because they wanted to bring about change and, all that jazz. But, for everybody else, and obviously we saw in 2016 how that worked out, the lesser of two evils argument, right? And then it's always this argument of like I think Chomsky even said it, that activism isn't about just pressing a button. It's about like, I don't know, making the right choice. I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but essentially it's another way of voter shaming, right? So like, if now is the time to go third party. If now isn't the time, I don't know when is the time. That's the problem. We keep being told like, wait until next time, wait until next time, wait until next time. Well, guess what? This is next time. And it's like, because of the fact that we have allowed this to go on for so long, look at the choices that we have. Like, to me, this is disrespectful. This is that they have zero respect for the voter to put this as the two options that you have, two viable options, and then sell it to you as though if you don't vote for these two, or if you don't vote for one of these two, then you're the problem because you're a child.
Yeah. So as Nick Brana and Jerry from the Movement for the People's Party say, this is the last time. I mean, they're basically having at their convention, they're actually having one. They're having Cornel West and Nina Turner. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And I would actually say that progressives were in the perfect spot as of a couple of months ago. We had Bernie was going to debate a declining and obviously declining Biden at the point that the COVID was proving the need for progressive policies and for Medicare for all. And the world dropped out from under me when Bernie starts patting Biden on the back. He couldn't get an argument out. I don't know what the hell happened there, right? Some deal was made going into that because progressives were in the perfect situation at that point. What happened from there is, I mean, that was all fixed and rigged behind the scenes. But I would say I'm feeling pretty positive, not this time around, but coming up with the Movement for People's Party. I don't know. They're giving me some hope now. I watched the last national call they had, and I'm getting some hope from them. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So Jim, how do you? I mean, obviously the presidential election, is
Right.
You have these two undesirable candidates, but what about down ticket where you have like actual progressives challenging congressional seats in the primaries, for instance?
Hold on, because I want to stay on this for a minute, because I feel like we always like skirt around this, but we never actually talk about this, right? We and like the other thing that that Cristobal was talking about in that segment where they were talking about the Chomsky thing was that that young voters are not going to vote for Trump, and I feel like this is such a huge mistake that keeps being made of making these groups a monolith. You know, it's like all
Yes.
Black people are going to vote this way, and all young people are going to vote this way. And you know, after 2016, did we not learn that just doesn't work that way? And
That's
after
right.
everything that's been going on, are we not seeing that it just doesn't work? And for young people, I
Yeah.
mean, again, I don't want to generalize, and I don't want to, you know, say that they're a monolith, but you know, for a lot of young people, you know, climate change is a massive issue, right? It's the issue. It's the
Sure.
only issue. Okay. And we don't have time to wait until next time, or to, you know what I'm saying, to be presented with these two as our options, which is why I feel like it's like so it's maddening that this is what we're left with.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Have any of the potential VP picks they're talking about even given a nod of the head to climate change in any real, you know, in any way that you believe them?
At the most is that Biden, at least Biden believes the science, right? That's the
Oh, he
selling point
actually,
right
yeah.
there.
I think he actually maybe has said that, right. Yeah.
The change is never going to come from the top. I mean, they can kind
Yeah.
of go along with it, but the change, it's going to have to be individual choices. You know, people have to change their lifestyle. You can't just have the president declare, you know, we're going to tackle climate change. It's going to take a lot more than that. I don't know. I think
No,
if people,
but the presidency sets the mood, right? He sets the message, the tone for what his administration or her administration would
Right.
want to bring forth, right? And so it's, you know, at least if I'm not for just having the language. Obviously, that doesn't matter to me. That's like with Biden, you know, I think it's futile because it's like he doesn't really believe in any of these things. And if anything, what he'll do is that he will maybe go with the Green Deal because it's a great deal for neoliberals. It's a great deal for
maybe,
corporations.
you know, they'll
Yeah.
rejoin the Paris Climate Accords, and that everyone can sit
Right.
back and say, "Oh, and now I don't. You know, we're moving in the right direction, so I can just sit back and like not worry about it." So it's almost like people are going to become complacent if they feel
Mhm.
like, you know, they're kind of moving in the right direction. So
Yeah.
I really don't know how helpful it
I
is.
think that point of whether that climate change comes from the top or the bottom is interesting. In that, if you had someone that was inspirational, like Obama, like if there was a real Obama, not the fake Obama that we got, if there was a real Obama that was centered around, you know, hope for climate change, he could be leading from the top, and he could also be, you know, getting people to work from the, you know, from the bottom up. He would be inspiration. He could have been inspirational enough to have everybody working for the same
Yeah,
thing.
but it's more like Congress is going. If you get a lot of progressive people in Congress, they're going to push the president in that direction rather than the other way around. I mean, it go both ways, but I mean, I think this idea that you get a president, they're going to push stuff through, like Trump, you know, just issuing executive orders. You know, we still live in a quote unquote democracy, and you know, you can't just rule by diktat. You have to actually have Congress go along. I mean, that's the whole thing. The problem is Congress. I mean, they're voting for these defense budgets and everything.
But what Nick Brana would say, what he said on the call Thursday, is that but we know we need he wouldn't they don't say third party, they say new party, because they don't want to legitimize the duopoly. So they don't use the term third party. Anyway, I've said that before. But he would say that the problem is that people like an AOC goes in and they are okay, they're progressive, and I believe that she was originally progressive, and they get into the grind, and suddenly Nancy Pelosi is their friend, and they're not, you know, their home base and the people they lived next to from their home constituency isn't first in their mind anymore.
Right, but
And
I would
that's the
say I
problem
wouldn't
right now.
argue that you should just like give up on challengers like that. I mean, AOC is a disappointment, but you know, let's see how Bowman's going to look. Let's see how Cory Bush is
Cory
going to
Bush
look.
looks, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I mean, because you get enough critical mass in Congress of these these progressives, then maybe it's going to start having an effect. And I'm
but
saying, like, I'd rather
yeah,
vote for, if I were in that district in St. Louis, I'd vote for Cory Bush, even
yeah.
though I could vote for the Green Party candidate for Congress, because I'd rather see Cory Bush get in there and actually try to, enact some legislation.
Now,
But that is
totally,
that's specifically what Movement for People's Party is saying has been proven by now does not work. The
Okay.
idea that we're going to get enough progressives in there and suddenly something's going to happen.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
I disagree
no,
with
it's
that.
okay.
Okay.
So,
And I don't know.
it does tie in. Obviously, you know how I feel about Congress, and you know, you know how I feel that is really at the crux of everything, right? But, think about how things get done, right, according to who is the president, right? So, or don't get done, essentially. So you know how for the Senate they were able to pass the tax cuts, right, for the rich or whatever. They're able to pass their legislation that they want to pass because they have that person in the White House. So now if we have all of these really great progressives that come up from from the grassroots and all this, they come in, but their message or their leader isn't conveying the same message that they're conveying. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, how for a lot of these people Medicare for all is a big thing, but again, Biden has said that if Medicare for all happens to pass by his desk, that he would veto it. So you see what I'm saying? That's why, in that sense, it does matter who's on top.
I
That's
agree.
not the whole gambit. It's
I'm
not
not
the whole
saying
gambit.
not saying it's not important. I think there should be a third party, definitely alternative. But I'm just saying that there are still progressive
Or a new
Democrats,
party.
and AOC is not the end all be all of progressive challengers, and she's not really progressive. I mean, she did not endorse Cori Bush, right? She, Jamal Bowman did, but
That's right.
basically, she was afraid to, and even Bernie Sanders endorsed Cori Bush. But I think if you have enough of these people, there's still, you can count them on almost one hand or two hands how many of these real, real progressive Democrats are in Congress. There aren't enough of them.
Right.
But if you had, the fact that Cori Bush won against Lacey Clay, that's big. That's big. And I'm looking at what's his name in challenging Lynch in Massachusetts. You have Goldstein, challenging, who's much more progressive. And Lynch is considered a progressive. He's like left, but he's not. He didn't vote for
if I see one more Markey or Kennedy ad, I'm going to scream.
My God.
I'm going to scream. Or Becky Grossman. You guys getting all those Becky Grossman ads?
No, because we're not.
She's a mom.
Only Kennedy and Markey. That's
if
all.
we have more moms in Congress, we'll get stuff done. Oh my!
Gotta check that box.
Stop it! Yeah, stop it.
Well, I'm going to vote for a third party for president, definitely, and I'll vote down ticket. I'll probably vote mostly. If there's a progressive challenger, whether they're Democrat or third party, I'll vote for them because, I always feel like vote for the candidate you feel aligns most closely with what you believe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm into a vote. I'm in a vote.
Not according to Chomsky.
Yeah. I'm in a vote non-incumbent movement. Yeah, I know Chomsky. Right. You gotta go with Biden. Right. I know.